the Canadian shooting, which all ties them together. Now, the other day, there was a shooting in Canada. Soldier dead in Parliament attack, reports ABC News. A Canadian soldier was killed this morning, and this is October 22nd, was killed this morning in shooting that forced police to lock down Parliament and hustle the country's prime minister to a safe location. And police are searching for two suspects after one dealt with, according to the spokesman for Ottawa Police. Officials later said the male suspect was killed. And the gunfire prompted security force to take Prime Minister Stephen Harper to a safe place, not at a Parliament Hill. His spokesman said Harper's usual office is in the buildings near the shooting site. But anyway, this happened here, and it's unfortunate, it really is. But the question is, could this be a false flag? Because Infowars.com is raising a good concern about this, saying that Canadian police caught staging false flag. And Infowars reporter Joe Biggs covers, which we had him on our show. We'll probably get him back on this show here on Alternate Current Radio when we move to the 2-hour slot. Infowars reporter Joe Biggs covers the shooting at Parliament Hill in Ottawa, Canada, and how Canadian police have been caught staging false flags in the past during the Toronto's G20 when undercover police engage in purposeful provocation. They're provocateurs. The police dressing up as protesters and causing violence just to get justification for police to use force. And he also breaks down the police were caught laughing on film during what seemed to be a tense situation, as well as how security was not armed in the building that the shooter entered. Of course not. All these shootings happen, of course, there's no armed guards in the building or on the grounds, of course. Because the shooters would never go into a place with guns. And these idiots out there have a nerve to say, oh, this is why we need gun control. Like a bunch of doofuses and dorks and retards. And excuse the phrase retard, but anyway, these people take the cake for that. They really don't. And I'm not talking about mental, God bless those mental kids and all that. They shouldn't even be called retards, but I hate that word to even use that. But these gun advocates they should change the dictionary, the word retard in the dictionary to gun control advocates. Gun control advocates is a new meaning for the word retard. Because how the hell could you say, oh, this is why we need gun control, when all these gun shootings, all these mass shootings take place in places with no armed security? But yeah, we need gun control, right, idiots? What a bunch of morons. And that's why these guys fail over and over and over again, especially here in Rhode Island. You fail constantly, miserably, because you people can't understand how guns save lives. Because you don't want to understand. You want the public to disarm, and your people, the leaders at the top telling you the guns are bad. They want people to disarm because they want tyranny. They look through history. Adolf Hitler, Fidel Castro, Mao, Stalin, all these people, all right, instituted gun control. And they would have never killed hundreds of millions of people. And there's idiots out there. This is what you seem to forget. You seem to forget history. Edmund Burke says those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it and use those people. Hundreds of millions of people, the Jews and everything, were all killed. How? Because prior to all these mass genocides, they took the guns away. Executive orders, they staged false flags attacks, say, oh, well, we need your guns. Of course, the citizens, all right, here you go. Keep us safe, Mr. Government. And all of a sudden went from a democracy to a dictatorship, and that dictatorship cost the lives of millions and hundreds of millions of people. So, yeah, gun control works, you morons. I mean, why don't you read history? Go to school and read history, okay? Get educated in history. How gun control killed hundreds of millions of people. But, you take one bad case of a guy shooting up a parliament building. Oh, this is why we need gun control. When there was no armed security. The logic and sensibility of you morons out there, and I mean, I don't usually call people names, but these gun control advocates take the cake of the word retard. Plain and simple. And like I said before, if you want political correctness, you're not going to get it here. I tell it how it is. And the gun control advocates, you're nothing but a bunch of brain-dead moron retards. Plain and simple. How the hell could you say gun control works when all these mass shootings are taking place in gun-free zones, retards? I mean, it just makes me mad. And I know I was supposed to cover the ISIS stuff, and just it's just so idiotic that these people think this way. You know, what puts that mindset in them? There must be some mind control or something, because I don't know how a human that, you know, I'm not saying these people are not intelligent, because some of them do have intelligent backgrounds, but why can't they use these intelligence in this criteria here? How the hell does gun control work? But they're going to call for it. They're going to call after this, even though they're stating it was the Parliament building had no armed security. But these gun control advocates is going to filter here in America. Oh, this is why we need gun control, because a maniac stormed the Parliament building and we need to take the guns from the public. And they're going to do this in Canada probably too, but without realizing what the hell they're saying. Hey, why don't you stop for a minute? Stop and think what you just stated. You know, your gun control advocates. This is why we need gun control. You idiots, okay? That would have never happened if it was armed security there. Those soldiers would have been alive today. And regardless, we have different views on Sandy Hook, okay, if it was 100% legit. Those kids would be alive today if there was armed security there. Reason why Adam Lanza chose one of the only gun-free zones. Yeah, I think it was 6 schools he passed that had armed security, whatever the case was. You know, the movie theater shooting in Colorado. You know, the only gun-free zone movie theater. And when the University of Arizona had that, you know, I don't know, it's just like, oh man, it's so mind-boggling, really is, and like just bringing up all these things, and you know, I don't know how these idiots could think that gun control works. You know, just blows my mind away, and just like, oh man, like, and I deal with these people constantly. I confront them at the State House in, you know, Rhode Island here, and you know, they get. And the thing is, when you bring up stats and you're talking civilized, this anger, this beast comes out of them, that they start hollering, whatever, and just calling you names and everything else. And when it has nothing to do with, you know, how the hell does gun control take guns out of the hands of criminals? It doesn't. You know, I asked that so many times. Not one of these gun control advocates could answer that. Not one. And I love to have debate a top gun control advocate on my show. I would love to debate. It would be civilized, but I would love to debate these morons. And I know I'm not being civilized now, but I don't care, because these people take the cake, the definition of the word retard, plain and simple. And it really, you know, it's... But, you know, you got these Canadian police who were doing this. During that G20, they were using purposeful provocation, like they're provoking violence in the G20 meeting. And who's to say this didn't happen here? But, you know, this very well could be a staged false flag, and could it be a part of ISIS too? And you got drivers subject to mandatory vehicle searches following the Canadian shooting. Mikhail Fallon of Infowars reports Canadian law enforcement groups are currently searching vehicles attempting to enter Quebec in the wake of Wednesday's morning's shooting in downtown Ottawa that left 1 soldier dead. And the CBS News link, I mean, you can see it right on the article, right on those of you that watch the video feed of this. And it's got pictures. I mean, like this, discussing the whole roadblock, shut down. It's, you know, unwarrantedly searching people's vehicles. I don't know how the laws are in Canada, but I'm sure, you know, this happens all the time in the United States. And in the United States, that's a Fourth Amendment violation. Period. So I mean, I'll argue with anybody with that all day long. You know, that's definitely a Fourth Amendment violation. And you know, again, you know, this shooting, could it be linked to ISIS, or could it be a false flag? And speaking of ISIS, I mean, we do got to move on before the end of the show, and I apologize about the rant and the choice of words I was talking about, but you know what? These gun control advocates, they have no idea what the hell they're talking about. They contradict their own selves. They put their own foot in the mouth, like one of the bills in Rhode Island. They're going to impose a 10% surcharge on all guns and ammo. In other words, the 10% tax extra plus the regular 7%, so 17% total, but the 10% of that went to fund anti-gun groups. The gun, I mean, it was funny. I mean, I testified in the hearing. It was the tax assessors and all them, you know, the financial people in the State House that were hearing this. And they were just like, even the ones I think that were for gun control, they couldn't even understand. Why the hell you got to put, what would that benefit anything? It doesn't make it dramatically got blown out of the water. I mean, the gun control advocates, they look like dumbasses on the microphone to try to push this bill. And the tax assessors were like, I mean, a lot of them got up and shook my hand because I came out with the pure, cold hard facts. And they love my way of presenting information and escalating the rhetoric to their level, you know what I mean, and to these gun control advocates. And so, I mean, they even shot the thing. It's like, no, I don't think so. That's stupid. We're not going to fund you, give you money, you gun control advocates of something we're buying to protect our Second Amendment. I don't think so. So that was shot down. But speaking of ISIS, I mean, this all ties together. People need to arm up, because if ISIS starts running around here, folks, you need to defend your homeland. Because, you know, the police are going to be tied up. They're not going to be able to defend every end of the city. So you need to arm up, and you need to be prepared to defend yourselves, because ISIS is going to start attacking police officers, because the FBI and Homeland Security issued bulletin warning of ISIS attack on police in the United States. And that's ICE now, Islamic State. ISIS, the same thing. And Curtin Nimmo from InfoWars reports this. Breitbart, Texas has received a leaked internal bulletin warning that ISIS will attack law enforcement in the United States. And that led up